Hello. Hello. And welcome to another, let me move my mic a little bit, to another ASMR video. Yes, welcome to another ASMR video. I'm filming again so soon. You should be proud of me. Okay, so today, for you, I'm infodumping again because now I think I'm going to infodump in every video. Now that I know that that's something that is a niche that needs filled, I'm totally going to supply it. And it helps when I prepare something to talk about, because even though I can just ad-lib my whole video, it's more stressful and it's less relaxing when I watch them back. So I'm going to continue to do like research and make sure I have all the knowledge prepared for my infodump videos, even though a lot of this I was able to pull from my head. So today we're talking about sea creatures. Yes. Oh wait, I forgot some things. I will be right back. Okay, hold tight. Okay, I'm back. I forgot a couple things. Okay, so I am going to be talking about sea creatures today while I do some popping of some of these little popping trays. Oh jeez, I'm trying to get my stuff all situated again. Now, let's see here. Okay. Some of these popping trays, whatever you call these. I don't know what these are called. But I have a bunch of them now. And I'm going to use them, starting with this tiny one, in order, size order, until they gradually become hilariously oversized. So I'm going to start by talking about the octopus. Yes, I'm going to talk about the octopus first, because the octopus is probably one of my favorite sea creatures of all time. So octopuses are a type of cephalopod. I just love cephalopods in general, so cuttlefish and all those other types, those are all cool. So I'm talking about like all types of octopi here. They all have 8 legs and a head and a mouth/butt/beak. Those are their basic body parts. The 8 legs, the butt, mouth, which is the same thing in an octopus, and the beak and the head. So it's kind of like the 8 legs around the circle, and then the head up on the top, and the beak in the middle, and the mouth, beak just before the mouth. So yeah, it's the same hole for the in and the out on the octopus. They do it with the whole digestive system. They've got an esophagus basically, and a stomach basically, and an intestine basically, but it all leads out back to where it came from, because they don't have another hole. So they have 3 blue-blooded hearts, and they have a donut-shaped brain that is also extends out into their legs. So their legs have brain in them, kind of the way our spinal cord has brain in it, and our stomach has a little bit of brain in it, but like way more than that. Like a lot of brain is in there. Like more of their brain is in their legs than in their head. Does that make sense? That's insane to me. Octopi change color based on photosensors that they have in their skin. Like they have a special layer of skin underneath their regular skin that is all a bunch of light receptors, and they kind of mirror the light that is coming in next to them so that they can change color within mere seconds, milliseconds, and not over the course of 15 minutes like, say, a chameleon does, because they use their hormones to change color. It's a completely different system. So octopi are way cooler the way they change color, although I love chameleons too. Female-dominated society exists for octopi, so, I mean, not particularly, but the males die after mating, so they don't have any life purpose other than mating, but the females die after they lay their eggs, so it's pretty much just a reproductive-centered society more than anything else. But they do live solitarily, other than for mating, and they're smart enough to use tools, so they can carry coconut shells around and use them as like a mobile home. They carry them under their legs, and then when they stop somewhere they want to hole up, they just whoop, close the coconut around them, and that is how they chill. And that probably only exists because of humans cutting coconuts in half, but they are able to use that tool that has been created for them. It's really cool. And although they mostly live solitarily, there was an octopolis that was found in 2009, where basically 15 different octopi were found living together, and a species called the gloomy octopus, which I thought was hilarious, so I had to write it down. And they communicated, they talked together, they even practiced eviction, like kicking out the bad octopi from the bunch. So octopi are pretty interesting creatures. They can regenerate their limbs, even the ones, with brain in them. They can regenerate brain tissue at any time because their stem cells work differently than ours do. Ours shut off after a certain age, very early age, and theirs just keep on going, stem celling. I don't remember the exact details, but I know that's exactly what it is. And they can be deadly venomous. Some species, there's one species that's super deadly. I think it's from Australia though, so we're good over here. They can also play video games, in captivity. If they're given video games that they can, a controller they can use, they can play video games in the water. Yeah, that's insane, right? And they can also escape from captivity. They can get out of their tanks and stuff. I think that's hilarious. So those are all the octopus facts I have. That's 8 minutes in. That's incredible. So I'm gonna move on to the next popping thing. This is slightly bigger, I would say, while I talk about jellyfish. Yes, while I talk about jellyfish. So they have, oh wait, I should move faster than that because okay. I also have this thing. Oh, it's already popped in, so it's not that exciting. I'll pop it back out here. Oh. That is so fun. Okay. Well, jellyfish are medusas, and when they're not in their medusa phase, they're polyps, and they live just like coral, which is really weird. So they have a 2-part life phase thing, where they're 2 different creatures at different times. Yeah. And they're the oldest multicellular animal known on the planet, which is insane. They have no heart, no lungs, no brain, just vibes. And they are between 85 to 98% water, which is definitely no thoughts, just vibes. Moving on again. We now have dolphins. I'm about to talk about dolphins for a little while here, and I'm doing a heart because I love them. Yes, a heart because I love them. I do love dolphins. I got to swim with dolphins once, even though I wouldn't do it again because it's cruel to keep them in captivity. But so dolphins evolved from this mammal called Pachycetidae, I want to say it's pronounced. Pachycetidae. And they, there's 42 different species of them alive today, and 7 different species of porpoise. The orca, the killer whale, is a type of dolphin, and it's also the largest. And there's 4 types of river dolphins that live in Asia and South America. Imagine you're in the river and a dolphin pulls up. I mean, geez, I'd be happy. Let's see. They have an intense, almost like complete language, a communication style of their own, made up of clicks and whistles and squeals, and they can really complexly talk to one another with it. And they are very, very social animals. They live in pods. I forget the size of the pod normally, but they protect their young very viciously. If a threat comes to a baby dolphin, the pod will surround the baby in a circle and face the enemy that way. Like, you gotta take one of the big ones to get to the little one kind of deal. So it's a really effective measure against predation on the young dolphins. And they have a 20 to 80 year lifespan. The small ones around 20, the bigger ones like the orcas around 80 years. And unfortunately about dolphins, they're cool, but they're also kind of shitty. They like to torture their prey. Like, they're kind of sickos. But they're neat. They're still really neat. They're just not like your buddies necessarily. But, oh my god, I forgot about this completely. They're mostly social. They mostly live in pods, but there are some types of dolphins called solitary dolphins that are basically just dolphins with autism. Like me. Yeah, they're dolphins with autism. Oh, by the way, someone in my comments on my last video, I think, asked my pronouns. So I would like to go ahead and say I use any pronouns, but I prefer they and he. I don't like she that much. It's not wrong. I'm not going to be mad at you for using it, but I just don't like it. So I like they. I love he. I like it. You know, it's confusing, but I like it. See, already confusing, but you know what? It's fine. Yeah, my pronouns. I'm a trans guy. I'm not binary. I'm a little bit of both. I'm a little bit of everything. So then I'm going to talk about whales next, which are kind of like dolphins, but different. And I'm going to pull out even larger heart. Oh my god, it's got purple at the end. I never even noticed that. Okay. I don't even know how to begin talking this thing, so I'm just gonna go like in order. So whales come from the same parent mammal as dolphins, the Pachycetidae. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Not that any of you are gonna know, but whales, blue whales, are the largest animal to ever live. 30 or they get up to 90 feet in length. This is hard to do, read and pop. And they can weigh up to like 24 elephants weight. They have hundreds of years long lifespan, like usually 100 to 200 years. And some are, the pods that they live in range from just 2 to like 200 whales. And some are very social and family oriented, and some even sing songs. Well, a lot of them sing songs, really. They're like canaries of the ocean. They sing songs, and they pass them on regionally where they swim together, like pop songs. So like, oh hey, I heard my friend singing this crazy tune, now I'm gonna sing that crazy tune, and then they just take them elsewhere, and then whole families will start singing them, the whole pods, and it's hilarious. They just have like their own little whale music culture. They are unfortunately hunted a lot for their animal products, historically, especially like their oils, like ambergris and stuff, and their blubber. But thankfully, a lot of the fishing is being banned in different places. They can go down for up to like 2-hour dives, compared to the dolphins, like 15 minutes. Humpback whales don't eat for half of the year while they're migrating to Antarctica. They just stop eating. They just chill out and stop. I can't even comprehend that. And then, oh my god, there's only 4 left. No, okay, they're all popped. They're all popped now. Now I can unpop them all. Wow. So next I'm going to talk about weedy sea dragons, which are a seahorse relative, and I'm going to pull out the big guns, the 15 by 15. Holy Lord. Okay. Dolphin, no, my page turned. Oh, I see. No, my page didn't turn. I just looked in the wrong spot. Oh, these are harder to pop in. These are like super thick. Weedy sea dragons are a seahorse relative. If you've never seen a weedy sea dragon, please look it up right now. Like, even leave and come back. Go look up a weedy sea dragon, please. You have no idea what you're missing if you've never seen one of these bad boys. They're like a seahorse, but with these leaf-like appendages that hang off their body parts and make them look all cool, and they camouflage. And they're endemic, which means they only live in southern Australia along the coast. And they are very slow-moving, and they rely on their camouflage to survive, basically. And just like seahorses, the dads carry the babies, and there's about 28 months in their life until maturity, and then they can live for up to 6 years. And they're just really cool little dudes, and they eat like algae and stuff. They live in like sea meadows. Just gotta be an idyllic life for those bad boys, except for the predation. But they're super cool. They're really hard to breed in captivity, apparently. Like, almost impossible. But not quite impossible. So the next final group I'm going to talk about is the echinoderms. The echinoderms. Okay. So, echinoderms are a certain phylum of, echinodermata. And they pretty much all have a type of radial symmetry and a almost similar body layout biologically, but it's kind of hard to see unless you know how they work inside. If you want to learn more about the echinoderms and not just what I'm going to talk about, I highly recommend the videos from True Facts by Zifrank. They're hilarious, but they're also extremely informative, and that's how I learned a lot of this stuff. So I obviously went and double-checked it before I said it all, but I remembered learning most of it in his videos. So please go check him out. And then the radial symmetry is pretty much what ties all the echinoderms together, which means around a circle point there is symmetry within them, not like two-way symmetry like us. Bilateral symmetry. You see what I mean? Like around a circle symmetry versus, yeah, I don't know. So examples of the echinoderms, you've definitely heard of them. I know you've never heard of the group itself, but you've heard of its members, such as starfish, sea urchins, brittle stars, sand dollars, sea cucumbers, and even sea lilies are part of the Echinoderm phylum, which is bigger than a family, I think. Or maybe it's not. I don't remember the classifications. I'm terrible. So starfish have like a 35-year lifespan, which I had no idea about. I thought they lived like a really short time because I thought they were mostly small, but it turns out some of them can get pretty big, especially the pink starfish that we're most familiar with, such as Patrick. And they, what does that say? Oh, they can live up to 28 hours on land, which is actually a while. So they can wash up and wash away, and it come out with the tide, you know what I mean? Like they'll survive longer than that. So that, I only picked 2 facts out for each of these because there's so many of them. So brittle stars are kind of related to starfish, except they have long spiny arms instead of fat ones that come right off the center and connect to each other. They're kind of skinny and around a circle. They kind of look like the thing from The Incredibles, but flat instead of up on its thing. I don't know if that makes any sense. The weird monster from The Incredibles that the babysitter uses. I can't believe I just called him by his canonical name. That's hilarious. Brittle stars smell with their feet, by the way, and they're very flexible, and they can actually run in a way that starfish just cannot. Sea urchins, also in the family, but kind of more round and less five-pointed, they move with tiny slow feet, and they attack in groups. They can attack in groups when they're threatened. Yeah. Sand dollars, like the ones you collect on the beach, are actually red and purple when they're alive, and they use their spines to sift through the sand to find food. So they just live in there and sift through it and get the food in through their little spines, and that's how they eat. Sea cucumbers, which are like the same body plan but stretched out rectangularly long ways almost, instead of in a compact or flat version, are bottom feeders that eat mostly like algae and plankton and waste and stuff like that. And they also can fling their digestive systems outside of their butts as a defense mechanism. They can fling their digestive system outside of their butts as a defense mechanism. Yeah, I hope that was relaxing for you, the way it was for me. Sea lilies, or the crinoids, I don't know how you say that, crinoid, I think, are like the sea feathers or whatever, and they are nocturnal. They usually only fan out at night, and they only a few of them can actually crawl around. Most of them are stationary. They cannot swim. They are just anchored to the forest floor, the ocean floor. Okay, so all of these guys are like pre-Cambrian. They existed before the Cambrian explosion, so they are super old life forms. Yeah, and that brings me to the very end of this pop-it. Can't believe I did the whole thing. I told you they would get comically larger. And back down to this one, and down to here, and then down to Mr. Tiny. So I hope you enjoyed my oceanic facts. That's all I prepared. I could try to talk about some more, but I don't want to be BSing. So I'm just gonna finish the video here, and I hope you have a good night's sleep. Sleep, 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 sleep. Or you have a good day, a good day, a good day. Because you could be watching this at any time, and I don't know you, I don't know your life. But I'm so glad that you were here and that you appreciated this, because it makes me appreciate you. And I'm sorry if I was too much on this side of the mic and not enough on this side of the mic. And